Hello and welcome back to the part 2 of a video that I have not attempted to finish in a while. This is the part 2 of all characters in the Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens, and we left off with Corsola right here. And this video is going to be all the way from this guy to this guy. So starting off, we have Kylo Ren, and then his custom-made lightsaber. Just die, Chewbacca. Almost got him. Yes, I got him. And he just spawned back in. And there are two other variations of Kylo Ren. There's the hooded version of him, which is just like the regular version, but the mask is his actual face, and he's wearing a hood. Other than that, nothing different. And Kylo Ren without a mask. And that's what he looks like behind the mask. Next is Lando Calrissian. You probably recognize this guy from the prequel trilogies, and he's in his general out form. And that's a Lando Calrissian for you. Not that much to him. How you doing, you pirate? I just had to say that. Next is Lieutenant Bastion, another member of the Resistance. I want those coins. Give them to me. I want them. Okay, and he's just another filler character. He's not that important. Lieutenant Mataka of the First Order. And also, I forgot to tell you this, but Kylo Ren's basically first in command of the First Order. The closest thing to it, because there's this guy named Snoke, but he's not playable in the game. So yeah, that's Lieutenant Mataka, and kind of looks like General Hux. Next is Logray, and he is an Ewok, which like Wicket. You'll see him probably in part 3. And he doesn't have any weapons, he's just tiny and he hits. So yeah, that's Logray. War Santeca, and he is force sensitive, and he's got this staff here. A grapple gun here, and yeah, that's pretty much all he does. He can like stick this staff in things, and that's it. Now we have Luke Skywalker, and this is him as a stormtrooper. And he used this as a disguise in episode 4. Yeah. And then we have regular Luke Skywalker from episode 4. So he switches from using a lightsaber. Occasionally he switches from using that to a blaster. Were there any coins over there? I'm gonna go look. Okay, well, I'm just gonna destroy this. See, occasionally he switches to using his blaster. And there's Luke Skywalker from episode 6, Return of the Jedi, where now he has a green lightsaber, symbolizes that he's now a Jedi Master, or Jedi Knight, and yeah, that's just a generic pose for characters in the game, and yeah, he's got the Force, though you can't just push things, unlike in Skywalker Saga. So yeah, Luke Skywalker has 3 variations, and that's it for Luke. They have Major Brant of the Resistance, and I don't remember him having this position, but okay, I'm going with it. And he's another generic character. he's not that memorable. He probably only made like a cameo in the actual movie. I would know because I watched it last night. Major Colonia. Same deal, same as Major Brands except female. Maz Kanata is actually a very major in the movie. She's a major character, and she has a long involvement in the plot. She's a friend of Han Solo, and she's actually also Force sensitive, and apparently she saw the Empire, we're gonna go through its stages, and the Sith, and then the First Order. Minotiste, who weirdly his helmet looks a lot like a stormtrooper's helmet. I don't really get that. And after this, I'm gonna go on Wikipedia, Star Wars Encyclopedia, and look Minotiste up. Maybe he stole his helmet from a stormtrooper. And next is Montath, and he's just a person native to Jakku. He's nothing special. He just made a slight cameo in the film, a lot like many others in this game. Next is Nien Nunb, and he is from the original trilogy, but he was also in the sequel trilogy for a bit, and he was pretty major. There's also the classic version of him, and it's just him but without a helmet. Next is Obi-Wan Kenobi, the guy you've all been waiting for, and this is the classic version of him from Episode 4, A New Hope. Or his name in that is Old Ben Kenobi. You've seen him in that Skywalker Saga video I made a while back. And there's him from Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. And somebody from the prequel, and this is him from the prequel trilogy, which for some reason no one likes. And next is Officer Sumistu, another member of the First Order. He has the same blaster as everyone else there. And next is Oni Jas, and I don't really know that much about this guy. I don't really know who this guy is at all. And like with Minotiste, I'm gonna go on Wikipedia and I'm gonna look this guy up. Maybe I can find out some more info about him. Next is Ofi Egra, and I'm pretty sure she's another resident of Jakku, either that or Takodana. Next is Oscus Stuak. He's a dual wielder, and he's got two blasters instead of one. He's twice the deadliness. Next is an Otigan Acolyte. He's got this unique looking blaster. So you just have a little look at it. And they got weirdly long necks. And there's also the Otigan Warrior. And they've got the same.
I will be forever grateful to the resistance for their help in evacuating.
And the Otigan Leader. They're all Otigans. And next is Ozier Tenzer. He's a lot like Oni Jas. In fact, they have the exact same models. So this one has a much bigger blaster. Next is Padme Amidala, or her quad version, and this is another character from the prequel trilogy. And she's basically the wife of Anakin, who you saw in part 1. Like, all the characters are in alphabetical order. This is Pamich Nero Goody. Try saying that 5 times fast. That's a very long name, and I actually don't know who this is either, and she's got a pretty cool hairdo. Next is Petty Officer Thanison, and I actually thought this was just General Hux, but without his hat. And he's another member of the First Order, more than likely. He's one of the main characters, Poe Dameron, one of the best fighters in the Resistance. if you've seen all the sequel movies, this guy doesn't really need an introduction. There are also a few other variations of him, and I'm going to go in the light so you can see him better. That's what he looks like, and there are a few other variations. Poe Dameron on Dakar, and that's the planet I'm on right now. Poe Dameron's in his flight suit. Poe Dameron in his flight suit without a helmet. Poe Dameron prisoner outfit. That's all variations of Poe Dameron, and next is Prashi. He's nothing special, he's just another tiny character, and he just hits. And he's the brother of Kratnus, Pastor Baron, another Odigan, and there is Pastor Omlin. He's got this staff here, and he is a very old Odigan, as you can tell by his beard. Prue Suivant. He's related to Sidon Athano and Quiggold, and you'll see those two in a moment. Queen Amidala, another prequel trilogy character, and her blaster has the same main sound, and though it looks kind of different. Qui-Gon Jinn, another prequel trilogy character, and he was only in Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, but he was the main character in the movie, and he's a Jedi Knight. Quiggold, and he's got one leg and one regular leg and a peg leg, and he's got this huge tank blaster here. He's got this huge blaster here. It's really big. Quinar, and he wasn't actually in the movie. He's a exclusive to this video game. He's not that special. And next is the Rancor, and he's the biggest playable character in the game. Just look at this behemoth. He is huge. I'm gonna compare him to Chewbacca, and just look at that. Chewbacca doesn't even go to that thing's shoulder. It's about as tall as its leg. That is big, and this is the Rancor that Jabba the Hutt had in Episode 6, and it has a name. Its name is Patissa, but it's just a Rancor in this game. Next is Razu Quinfee. He's a member of the Kanji Club. You saw the other members in Part 1. A Rebel Commando. They're very experienced in the field, more than likely, because they were gold. The Rebel Fleet Trooper, very iconic design. In here, an original trilogy character, or a Resistance General. This is just a generic character. A Resistance X-Wing pilot. Another generic one. And now we get to the main character, Rey. If you've seen the sequel films, like Poe Dameron, she does not need an introduction. And there are a few other variations. There's Rey Junction Box, and she's got that blaster. Rey Resistance, and this is the version of her with the lightsaber. And she is like Luke Skywalker from Episode 4. She switches from using the lightsaber to using her blaster, and for some reason, she still can't use the Force. Rey Scavenger, and she was wearing this mask here, right at Starkiller Base, and that's an available place you can go to. Rayon Takodana, and she just has her blaster, and that's the only difference from her and regular one. Young Ray. And this is just her. This was her in a flashback in the actual movie. That's all of the versions of Ray. And Sachi Skarit. And not too much. Sarko Plank, and he is a resident of Jakku, and he has this electro staff. Pretty cool. A scout trooper, and finally we have a trooper. It's been a while since I've seen one of these, and he is he's from episode 6, I believe, Return of the Jedi. Well, watch the original trilogy, you'll know what I mean, I think. Set on Athano, and he was in The Force Awakens. Well, episode 7, the movie this game is based on, for a brief moment, and Finn was supposed to go with him, but he didn't. Snap Lexley, and his real first name is Temin. He's one of the few in this game who made it to the Skywalker Saga, and he's another member of the Resistance, and I thought he's a member of the Rebel Alliance. Next is a Snowtrooper, and this is the First Order Snowtrooper. Now we're getting to all the troopers, and the classic version of the Snowtrooper, and their masks are very a radical departure from the ones from the First Order. The Snowtrooper officer. The only difference being is that he has this red thing on his shoulder. That means he's of higher authority. The generic Stormtrooper for this video game, very classic. These are the ones from the First Order. Stormtrooper aerobics, and this one is very funny. He's just wearing a helmet, but he looks like he's ready to do exercising with General Hux aerobics, and I'm gonna get him. There's General Hux aerobics. I've already showed you him. Now, Stormtrooper officer. Once again, he has that red thing on his shoulder. The classic Stormtrooper, and this one I'm way more familiar with. Because you probably, if you watch the original trilogy, you'll recognize it too. A Stormtrooper combat engineer. Instead of red, this thing is gray, and probably really good at combat. And a heavy assault Stormtrooper, and he has this heavy blaster, much like Quigold. Hot tub Stormtrooper. This is hilarious. It looks like he's ready to go in a jacuzzi. Stormtrooper Sergeant. He's got a black shoulder pad. And running out of this is Sudswater Dilafay Gawan. And he is the cousin of Infrablue Zed Betty Coggins. Except Sudswater has a weapon, and that's it for this one. And I will do part 3 and maybe a 4, and I'm excited to show you my customs. So see you in the next video.